Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Guns N' Roses Central, and it's time for another episode of Guns N' Roses True Story. So instead of talking about a song or a certain event, I wanted to talk about a side project that the members of Guns N' Roses were involved with. And I think this might be an interesting one since some of you guys probably don't know about this band or maybe heard of it. Some of you probably have. So this is about the side project called the Drunk Fucks. So it's spelled F-U-X instead of F-U-C-K-S. And this was a project that involved revolving door musicians. So the band basically featured the original members of Guns N' Roses and also featured Del James and West Arkeen. Then as time went on, they had a different number of musicians join them on stage during their sets. So the first show that they ever played was actually in 1987. So it was played on May 10th, 1987. And fortunately, there's no recordings of this actual performance, but they did play a show the following year in 1988. It was in January of 1988, and they did debut a new song. So at this concert that they did, it was at the Coconut Teaser in Hollywood, California. They debuted Yesterdays, which was the first live performance of the song. And there is a live recording of it. It's only the audio, but it's an interesting take on Yesterdays. It doesn't sound exactly like the album version that you guys are familiar with on Use Your Illusion 2, but I've linked to it down below. And at this concert, it was basically just the 5 original members of Guns N' Roses, but they referred to themselves as the Drunk Fucks. So here's the set list they actually played at the gig. They started with I Got a Line on You, Wishing Well, Communication Breakdown, Zeppelin cover, Scarred for Life, Sentimental Movie, Yesterdays, Knocking on Heaven's Door, Born to be Wild, and then Honky Tonk Woman. So Axl shared lead vocals on Honky Tonk Woman. I imagine either Duff or Izzy would have sang on that song as well. And it's not the first time that they've actually performed that cover of the Stones song. They did it back also in 1993. It was at Izzy's his last gig in Milton Keynes when they brought out Ronnie Wood of the Rolling Stones, and they brought out Mike Monroe of Hanoi Rocks on stage. So in 1993, they actually played a benefit show for a local concert promoter who had actually got injured in a motorcycling accident. And because he didn't have any health insurance, his friends wanted to help him out and raise some money for him. So they actually did a gig at the Hollywood Palladium. And they actually had Slash, Duff, Gilby Clarke, who had actually recently broken his hand in a motorcycling accident, and that's when Izzy came back and joined the band for about 5 dates. They also had Zakk Wylde, Lemmy from Motorhead, and a bunch of other people. So tickets cost about $50 for that show, and some of the songs that they actually played include Dead Flowers, Communication Breakdown, and Honky Tonk Woman. Here's an MTV News report from that actual gig.
The Guns N' Roses guitarist who left that group in 1991 amid much recrimination is back on stage with the band, at least temporarily, pinch hitting for the guitarist who replaced him, Gilby Clarke. Clarke recently broke his fretting wrist in a motorcycle accident, so Guns frontman Raxl Rose put in a fence-bending call to Stradlin, who has a band of his own called the Juju Hounds, and persuaded him to rejoin for a few weeks to play some overseas dates. Meanwhile, 3 other members of Guns N' Roses, guitarist Slash, bassist Duff McKagan, and even the injured but still singing Gilby Clarke, joined Lemmy Kilmister of Motorhead and a variety of other hard rock musicians at the Hollywood Palladium in Los Angeles last weekend as the Drunk F-X. They played a fundraiser for a popular local tour manager named Fred Saunders, who recently broke nearly every major bone in his body in a motorcycle accident. Here's a look at the show.
We had this band called The Drunk, where we play covers, and just basically screwed the whole thing up, but it was okay. We would get together and get completely wasted and book a gig and not show up for it because we'd all be too wasted. We'd be in the building, but
Slash actually didn't make any of the gigs, like first 5 gigs, because he was always passed out in the back. And it was just a kind of a fun thing, you know, and we always play just for like charities. We don't take any money, we play for beer, you know, henceforth the name.
Fred Saunders, who the whole benefit's for, had a motorcycle accident.
Of course, he didn't have any medical insurance or money for, you know, in general. So, you know, he's going to be okay, but this is going to help pay for his medical bills. Now that we're all here, we sort of talked about what songs we can play.
which ones we remember, since none of us got together and practiced any of it.
We're playing in the wrong key. It's a mystery to me, everybody. And I don't even know what songs we're doing, what key they're in, whether I know the words or not, nothing.
It's fun, and at the same time, you know, Fred knows that we care about him.
Get well soon, Fred, get well soon!
That show raised some $40,000 for Fred Saunders' medical expenses.
Cruise down the topsy-turvy, curvy road of fashion chic and ultra-hipness as Cindy Crawford makes you look as good as you feel. The House of Style is coming up next.
So that does it for this episode of Guns N' Roses True Story. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below and let me know. And as always, guys, hit this like button if you enjoyed the contents of this video, and subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. You guys can also support my channel on Patreon, and you can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter to get the latest Guns N' Roses news and see some cool photos that maybe you guys haven't seen before of the band and the band members. Take care.